What's going on, guys? Got a big announcement. Gonna let people file in for a second. And if you're not getting notifications, you have to set them to always. Right next to the bar where you subscribe to me, just hit the notifications and set it from personalized to always. And you'll know about all my live streams. Duh. What's going on, everyone? Huge announcement and possibly a guest? Wow. That's some big things. What's up, Tarek? Crazy J, Anthony? Tube Sock. What's going on? Anarchick? You might possibly know my special guest. What's going on, John? Sean? Hot Rod? What's going on, Hot Rod? CBR? Yeah, I don't do hints. Okay? What's going on? SNS Productions. Howdy from Missouri, oh doggone it. Alright, so outside Chicago. Yo, yo, yo. From Chirac. What's going on? Yeah, but I'm glad I'm back too. I was on a vacation, okay? I went to the Bahamas, okay? And, I enjoyed myself down there. I rode on a dolphin all the way to Florida. I'm back tonight. Oh, the Tyrants. So today today was the first business day. I got out on the Thursday night. Friday was my first real day. I had to take care of business today, so I wasn't able to audit. I had to touch up on some legal things. It'll be a surprise in a couple days, but I have some huge news. Huge news. Can anyone guess what it might be? I'll give you guys the floor. Maybe you can guess what it is. Only 50 people in here. What's going on? Marty Crystal Floyd. Roro, what's going on? Jemiah? 1 dead, 10 injured. I have not heard about that yet. Thoughts and prayers goes out to the family. What's going on, Laurie? Thank you, Edward. Notification just went out. Let's give some people some time to get in. Anyways, I'm just going to go right into it. Huge announcement, right? So, I've got arrested a couple times now in association to filming, or at least have court cases, not necessarily arrested. We got the West Roxbury case where that woman reads out her phone number. We got the Boston Pride Parade, and then this thing that had me in jail for the last 3 months. And, so people are like, oh, he's going to come out and he's going to take it easy. And people are saying maybe you shouldn't film anymore because you're going to get arrested, this, that, and the other thing. And here's the thing, guys. Queen Snow, I have to tell you guys something. I will not be filming. Thank you, Tube Sock. I will not be filming Massachusetts anymore. So it's time to just let you guys know that. And the reason I'm not going to be doing that is because I give up. On the tyrants around here, of course, because I'm going on a road trip, and people are going to be like, hey, listen, well, you can't go because you're on probation. I have 0 travel restrictions, okay? And I went and addressed that today. So, I made sure I addressed that. I made sure I touched down with some local ground support first, but, I'm going to, Alabama. That's right, the 24th, I will be in Alabama, and I'll be touching down, I'll keep their names quiet for now, but I'll be touching down with a couple local channels that are going to offer me some support. Since I'm going to be on their turf, the same as in Chicago, I'm going to touch down with some local folks, so they can show me around, bring me to where the worst tyrants are, and coming down to Henniger, Alabama. A couple months ago, in fact, 3.5 months ago, I put out a video called Bullied Kid Fights Back. Hashtag Redastrong, hashtag Redasarmy. Go on Facebook, go on your page, go on my personal page, go on the Accountability for All Facebook page. Go on the www.accountabilityforall.com. We have a sick website up. And let's get hashtag RETTA strong or hashtag RETTAS army. And let's get those trending. That's the thing. CBR Rick says, who wants to go to Alabama? No one, because there's some tyrants down there. I feel like it's only right for me to call them and let them know that I'm coming. I got a phone right here. And the KKK. There's some KKK out there. We'll film them too. We'll film them too. I'm going down to Henniger, Alabama. I'm going to stay with a couple local folks. I'm going to hit Alabama, and then I'm going to make my way to Mississippi. Maybe the Mason-Dixon. I don't know if they have phones. That's a great question. But yep, we're going there, and we're going to put some work in. That's right. Any questions? And if you're in Alabama, make sure you hit me up on my email address and send me your information. If you're auditing down there, you want to come with, send that too. Because here's the thing, okay? I met this girl, Retta. They were like one of my very first subscribers, her and her family, right? And she was getting bullied relentless. The school did nothing, okay? We put out that video called Bullied Kid Fights Back for Retta. And then the next day she walks into school and all of a sudden there's a Constitution hanging up in every single classroom and every single office. And it started to die down a bit, and I was supposed to go out there, and then I got arrested. Well, problem is, I said I promise. And I can't break a promise. I don't do that. So I'm going down to Henniger, Alabama. We're going to go to the different counties down there, and we're going to make sure that there's two things going on. That we stop some tyrants, and that we stop bullying. Smooth as Tennessee whiskey. I'd like to go to Tennessee too. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to be doing my homework as I always do when I travel, and we're going to figure out after I do Henniger, we're going to figure out where there's been some huge excessive force cases, where there's been a lot of police corruption, and we're going to go to those places first. I'm not going to release the places that I'm going, because like in Chicago, we went to the 17th precinct and we shut them down and we owned every single cop in the building. They had a little bit of a heads up. So when I get there, I'm not going to say where I'm going. I'll tell you when I'm going live. There'll be pre-recorded videos released every day, but I'm just not going to tell folks where. And that's right around the corner. The 24th is coming. Let's go over some questions. I wish every state had a Birmingham. Jay Shade. That's all right, brother. Sean, thank you. I'm just trying to go through some questions here. Coming to Rockwall. Steve says, let him know so we can buy some popcorn. News Now, South Florida. What's going on? How are you? Good to see you. Mr. Puerto Rico. I am flying solo. Going on my own. Well, I take this. So, Pierre, thank you so much. Hold on a sec, Pierre. Thank you so much. Well, I live just east of Birmingham. People are requesting Rockwall, Texas. I might have to go there. Let's just take one step at a time. Right now we're doing Alabama, we're doing Mississippi. All right? Let's just take it one step at a time. Tex, GT, what's going on? You're raising suspicion. Can you show me your ID? Well, suspicion isn't a crime. No, I don't answer questions. Sometimes I answer questions, but only when it works for me. So, that's number one. We're going down to Henniger, Alabama. Number two, I'm going alone in the sense that I'm the only auditor that's going to be going down there. But I will have a guest coming with me. Not a guest that you guys know. She doesn't want to be on film, but I'm gonna wind up sneaking her on camera. So you never audit alone. Maybe I won't bring another auditor with me, but I'm gonna be bringing someone else with me. I just said she, so it's not Joa Orga, okay? And I'm gonna eat myself some fried chicken and fried taters and have some cotton candy soda. I'm gonna eat me a little bit of chicken fried, have some cold beer on a Friday night, wear a pair of jeans that fit just right, and I'm turning the radio up. I'm gonna go down to a honky tonk, a daggin' honky tonk. The 10th of February. I'm not going to be able to make it down there on the 10th of February. No, this is a girl that you guys have never met. This is a girl that you've never met. Okay, good question, Edward. Out of all the police officers who violated your rights, how many of them have you gotten reprimanded? Well, I consider the judge in Boston to be a major one. But right now, we have 2 officers that have taken short suspensions. We have 3 officers that have been written up, and we had Medford, the Medford cops, okay, that Dick and Medford. There's 168 videos, but I mean, we have gotten police officers reprimanded. My phone in Boston. Well, the case actually hasn't been dropped yet because I was in jail for 3 months and they weren't able to get me into court on that. So it's just been in a dead zone. The last day I was in jail, they actually did bring me to that court. They finally figured out where I am and habed me, and they gave me a writ of habeas corpus. So I went in. We're all good with that, so we're going to be getting that dismissed, and then they'll give me my phone back. At first they said they had my phone, then they said they didn't have my phone, then they said they did have my phone, and then they said that they, choked on a Twinkie and that they were super busy eating Dunkin'. By the way, no better time than this. Refreshing. Nothing goes better than a Dunkin'. Anyways, I thought that we might, so let me ask you a question. Audit Dunkin' Donuts, I do twice a day. Absolutely, Edward. Do civil rights also apply for tourists or only U.S. citizens? Curious Norwegian. Nick Cern, that's a great question. Okay? So if you are not a naturalized citizen by selection or by birth, then certain laws apply to you, okay? The Constitution applies to citizens here, okay? But civil rights, you can't, if you come over from wherever you're, Norway, okay? The police can't illegally search and seize you. There's, your civil rights have to be respected by law. There's certain things that do not apply, like your right to vote, slavery or servitude, counting if you're in jail or something like that. So certain things you're exempt from, but the laws still apply to you, as does your civil rights. Human rights as well. Johnny 5-0 is getting arrested right now. I just happen to be right in front of a computer. Let's check out and see what's going on, so that way we can bring some attention to this issue. Is he live? Johnny... Oh, I'm in my dashboard. Hold on a sec, guys. I just got some news here that he's getting arrested right now. Johnny 5-0. Hold on. Let's take a peek. Oh, urgent right now. Alright, guys. I'm going to share this channel on my feed. Please excuse me for a second. Does anyone have the background on his arrest? Hold on. I'm going to put the phone down so I can do this. 1 second. Actually, I just put it right here. Alright, let's share that now. Hold on, I'm going to go into their chat, let them know I just shared it. Alright guys, so not too much is going on here right now, but let's take a look at the comments to see if we can figure out what's going on. We can go back and watch. Elaine's in there. Elaine's one of mine. Let's see. Let's see what's going on here, guys. So Johnny 5-0 has just got arrested. Let's see if we can find any information about that. Arrested for contempt of cop bullshit. All right, I put my thing in there, and a lot of people, a lot of subscribers of mine I know, a lot of the people that are out there filming. I'm on the phone, pal. She needs the address. What's the number? All right, let's go back and see what happened to Johnny, guys.
Why is that? You're hiding something? No, not really.
Here we go, guys.
Question, sir. What's your name? Oh, H-O-V. H-O-V. And what's your name?
Okay, we're gonna go from
There
here.
you go. What's your badge number?
88.
Okay. Do you guys have body cameras?
No, we do not.
You don't have body cameras? No body cameras. Why is that? You're hiding something? No, not really. Not really? So...
All right, so let's pause this for a second. Johnny asked them, "Are you guys wearing body cams?" He says, "No." So Johnny says, "Are you hiding something?" The cop says, "Not really." Let's continue.
With you about this? There's nothing to discuss. I want to put handcuffs on you and take you outside for trespass. There's nothing to discuss.
They're threatening him to trespass him from a public place. This isn't a legal arrest.
The rules of conduct. The First Amendment.
All right, guys, and they're citing a policy. Well, you know what? The rules of conduct. So they can trespass him from a public place. They're citing the rules of conduct. Well, you know which policy trumps this bullshit one? The fucking Constitution.
They've already been vetted by the city attorney. It says that you have to...
And here's another thing that's unconstitutional. This law, this bullshit law, has been vetted by the city district attorney. Well, you can make no law that goes against or takes away from the Constitution. If that law is against the Constitution, that law is unlawful in itself and shall not be followed by citizens.
approval to record inside this library. So you need to turn that off and leave. If not, you will be arrested. Right
And
here,
it's a
number
sad
23.
end to this, but it's one that will happen.
It is a library, guys.
You don't know how to
Up,
uphold your
he's
own
going for the cops. There it
Constitution.
goes.
I'm leaving.
Now they're forcing him out. He's not detained and they're assaulting him.
No, but it makes it camera shy. No, go ahead.
Oh, guys, let's get some...
Camera shy?
Definitely don't call this police department. Definitely do not call.
Well, I'm not. I'm actually more concerned about your resistance.
They're saying he's resisting.
I'm walking. So I'm walking right now. I'm trying to exit.
So what I said to
I
you
am
was-
exiting the library. I am exiting the library, sir.
It sounds and look good, but that's not really what you're doing.
I am exiting the library, sir.
You're not allowed to be on the property.
Fuck off.
Okay, so that's what gets him cuffed up. Freedom of speech.
Stop. Let go. Let go of the camera. Let go of the camera.
What, just for saying the word fuck off?
Let go.
All right, so he's trespassed from a public place, and then they arrest him for saying "fuck off." That's bullshit. Where are we? Which city are we in? Let's figure out where he's at right now, so no one can call. All right, I'm seeing if we can get any information on this so we can try and support him. Phone lines are jammed, so it looks like they're already doing that. At Accountability for All. Hi. All right, hold on. If they just saw my comment. All right, let's see. Which city is he? I said I have a lot of people watching that don't want to call. Santa Barbara. So is that Santa Barbara PD? Santa Barbara, yes, you are correct. We got a phone number. I can look it up if they don't have one. Happy fuck the cops day all the way out in fucking Santa Barbara, huh? Scumbags. Let's find the Santa Barbara number. Okay, guys, we're going to have a grab bag. I just feel like looking up, let me think of a random place, Santa Barbara PD. Okay, sounds good. Let's look it up. Let's look it up. I can't look at your comments right now, guys. Arrested for freedom of fucking speech. Unfucking believable. Santa Barbara PD. All right, let's see. I'm going to call myself because I don't like this bullshit. Hold on. All right. I just want to know what's going on. Yeah, don't call. Definitely don't call.
This is the Santa Barbara Police Department recruitment hotline. If this is an emergency or you require police assistance, please hang up and dial 911 if it's an emergency. If it's not an emergency, please hang up and dial 805-897-2300. If you have any questions regarding
2300. Now I got the right number. And I'm not going to be very nice to them. Freedom of speech. Unfucking believable.
Thank you for calling the Santa Barbara Police Department. If this is an emergency, please hang up and dial 911. Para español, presione 1. If you know your party's extension, you may key in the extension at any time. To better serve you, please listen to the entire menu to make the best choice. For police department location and hours of operation, press 2. If you need a police officer dispatched to your location for a non-emergency call, for service, or need to speak with an officer in patrol, press 3. To obtain a copy of a crime report or traffic collision report, criminal history, or clearance check, to file a non-emergency police report, schedule a fingerprint or booking appointment, press 4. If you would like information on a towed or impound vehicle or parking ticket,
the call cannot be transferred. Returning to the main menu.
Wow.
Transfer to main AA in Spanish. Press 1 for location and hours. Press 2 for non-emergency dispatch. 3 for
Non-emergency dispatch. I think it's an emergency, but they don't offer that.
for location and hours of operation, please choose from the following.
This is bullshit.
Location of the Santa Barbara Police Department, press 1. For records and parking hours, press 2. For property hours, press 3. For communications dispatch center, press 4. For license and
the call cannot be transferred.
Wow.
Main menu.
Their phones are jammed.
Of the Santa Barbara
Do not call 805-897-2300. Do not call.
Press 2 for property hours. Press 3 for the communications and dispatch center. Press 4 for lip scan and fingerprint hours. Press 5. The call cannot be transferred. Returning to the main menu. For location of the Santa Barbara Police Department. Press 1 for records and parking hours. Press 2 for property hours. The call cannot be transferred. Returning to the main menu. For location of the call cannot be transferred.
Holy shit.
Returning to the main menu. For the call cannot be transferred. Return to the main menu. The call cannot be transferred. Return to the main menu.
for location and hours of operation, choose from the
8 is not valid.
for location and hours of operation, please choose from the for location and hours of operation.
The call cannot be transferred.
I'm pressing all different buttons. Every line is tied up.
Location of the Santa Barbara Police Department. Press 1 for records and parking hours. Press 2 for
Thomas Paine, I can call on my own as a citizen, but I would never ask other people to call Florida Police Department. I'm just letting you guys know that you should definitely not call the Santa Barbara PD at 805-897-2300. You simply should not do it. You got him? Jason's got him. Let's try back so you see if I can get him. I tried pressing 0. That didn't work. It's got me off topic here.
Department. If this is an emergency, please hang up and dial 911.
the call cannot be transferred. Returning to the main menu. For transfer to main AA in Spanish.
Yeah, I can't.
1 for
Alright, I'll call the mayor's office and leave him a message, though. And demand to ask what's going on. That's absolutely fine. Let's do that. Let's call. I mean, I don't think anyone's going to be there right now, but we'll leave a message for them. Um, 5, 6, 4, 5, 5322.
Hi, this is Mayor Kathy Murillo. You may leave a message here or call back to make an appointment.
I'm going to leave a message,
Our
I think.
executive assistant, Holly Perea. Holly can be reached at the following phone number, 805-564-5318. That number again, 564-5318. She will make an appointment to see me in person or to talk by telephone. I look forward
Her own assistant has to make an appointment to see her.
Este es el correo de voz de Kathy Murillo, la alcaldesa del Consejo Municipal. Por favor, deje su mensaje. Gracias. After the tone, please record your message. When you finish recording, hang up or press the pound key for more options.
Hello, Mayor, or should I say Your Honor? Well, actually, I guess this call is going to question if you have honor or not. I'd like to see if you can explain to me why a citizen of the United States of America is on Santa Barbara soil at a public library and why your police department is not only soliciting a trespass against him, but are trying to say that he can't be in a public place. A public building is considered a public easement. And then they decided to arrest him when he said, fuck you. I mean, I'm pretty sure that fuck you is covered under this freedom of speech. So I just had a question. And my question is, when I come to Santa Barbara, should we leave the Constitution at the door? Maybe you're not aware of this, but I'm hoping you're going to find these people accountable because I have a live audience watching. He's got a live audience watching. And I think that you should really take issue with what's going on in your PD because people aren't liking this. And I got like a 25,000 person audience right now on my subscribe to my channel, and they don't like it either. So I'm gonna call back, or please email me at josha1487@gmail.com. I'm calling from Boston. I'm not happy. I don't understand. Like, you're the mayor. You run the citizenry of that town. Is freedom alive in your town? You have the right to film. The First Amendment covers that. Then they seized his phone, violation of his Fourth Amendment right. And his fifth. This is ridiculous. Do something about it. Get it together. Better yourself. All right. That's about all we can do right now. Let's call Joe Orga and see if he's up to date on this, because I simply was not aware of this. Johnny 5-0 just illegally arrested. You can see it on video. Video doesn't lie. So let's call and see if Joe has heard of what's going on with this shit. Unfucking believable. Unfucking believable. Leslie's in there too. A lot of my subs are in there. Yes, you're on the phone with YouTube, but did you hear about what happened with Johnny 5-0 right now?
No, what happened to Johnny 5-0?
Johnny 5-0 is filming in a library, and the cops there brought out a policy and said that he couldn't film or they would solicit a trespass against him. And he said, well, that's a policy. And they said, well, this policy is more important than the Constitution because the DA is okay with it. And he was like, yeah, well, that's not going to happen. Without being told he's detained, they forcefully remove him from the library, and then they tell him that he can't film. In turn, he tells the deputy to go fuck herself, and to which point they assault him and kidnap him and place him under arrest. So he's assaulted and trespassed for freedom of speech. Kind of like, it's a situation that reminds me, like something like this happens. So guy goes into a public place, is forcefully kicked out of a public place because of policy, then is assaulted and has his phone taken and is placed under arrest for freedom of speech. Who did this happen to? Also, Joe, do you know anyone that this happened to?
Yes, Gary Giglio.
Gary Giglio is right! Joe, do you know what you just won?
What did I just win?
A Christmas turkey next year, if I can afford it, depending on how my residuals are doing. So, and you know who else this happened to? This happened to you, Joe Orga. So what is your opinion on this? Do you have an opinion on this? Because I have people watching. We got about 175 people watching right now that are really upset.
What I would have done, if I was a police officer, I would have gone right straight to that Dewey Decimal System and looked up the Constitution. And then I would have presented him with, hey, you've got the right to do this.
This is my special guest, by the way, guy. Not because it's like a big surprise, because Joe Orga is just very special, and he's a guest. So people should not call the Santa Barbara PD, right, Joe?
Oh, absolutely not. No one should call there and let them know how they should release someone that was practicing or exercising freedom of speech in the method that he chose to. Maybe they wouldn't like his method, but he had the right.
Okay, so Joe, when I went to the Chicago PD and I said don't call, the phones got shut down. When you got assaulted in Worcester, the phones got shut down. We can't even get through because the phones are shut down. So I left a message at the mayor's office.
Yeah, that's a great idea. Yeah, don't call the mayor.
Do absolute, like, if there's anything that you were not going to do today, which should that be? What's the one thing you shouldn't do?
You shouldn't pick up the phone, and you shouldn't look up their phone number. I don't know what it is, if you know what it is.
So you're saying that they should not call, they should absolutely, hold on, wait, they should absolutely,
To release them because we're slaves.
okay, they should
We're all slaves, guys. Admit it. We just go along with what they say and do. So don't call them. We're slaves.
So what you're saying in essence is, it's fair for me to summarize, absolutely 100% unequivocally without question or doubt, do not call 805-897-2300 and press option 3. They shouldn't do that, right, Joe?
Well, definitely not option 3.
Yeah, definitely not option 3. And they shouldn't call either.
What is option 1? Freedom. Option 2? Death penalty. What is option 3?
Option 3 gets you maced, I think.
Oh, yeah. That's not as bad.
Oh, Ford Windsor says being a taxpayer. Okay, so listen.
A little pepper spray.
Listen, Ford Windsor says paying taxes does not make you their boss. So paying a, so let me ask you a question, Joe. When you go to work, who do you consider the person that pays you?
Well, my boss, of course.
And they're your boss because they do what?
Because I provide a service for them that is that they respect and
And because they pay you. So if you pay somebody, well, we pay the taxes. They work for us. We don't work for them.
That's right.
That's absolutely I'm not going to get monetized for this video already because I've already said unfucking believable.
Honestly, they don't need to work for me. I'm not. I don't need their system. We don't need their system.
Joe, Watch Commander is answering the phone.
The only system that requires us to have that little bit of freedom, then it's the only thing we got, I guess.
Okay, so what we really need to do is we need to not call them.
Yeah, don't call them.
I'd like, I'm not going to ask other people to call, which I would never do, but I think I'm going to call myself, Joe.
Yeah.
What do you think,
Don't
guys?
call.
Should we disconnect? What are we gonna do? Should we disconnect with Joe and call? And should I call back, or should we hang on the phone with
Good
Joe?
idea.
Should I do that? All right, let me call.
No, it's a bad idea. Really bad idea. Don't do that.
Yeah, I will not do that. I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna let you go right now for other reasons.
No, you're not going to let me go right now.
I'm confused. Okay, hold on. Guys, it's a recorded line anyways, so I can record them. It's already party consent. But you guys shouldn't call them. Don't call. Is this the right number?
Thank you for calling the Santa Barbara Police Department. If this is an emergency, please hang.
Ooh.
If you need a police officer dispatched to your location for a non-emergency call for service, or you need to speak with a patrol officer, or to speak with a patrol, traffic, or parking enforcement supervisor, please choose from the following. For non-emergency dispatch, press 1. To contact the watch commander, press 2. To leave a message for...
Uh-oh.
Call cannot be transferred. Returning to the main menu.
Let's try the watch commander.
Emergency dispatch. Press 1 for a watch commander. Press 2 for a...
Why can't I get through? I think they just must know who I am.
Hello, Santa Barbara Police.
Hi, good evening. I am, my name's Josh. I'm with the YouTube channel Accountability for All, and I'm watching a live feed with a colleague of mine, and I'm wondering, firstly, why he was trespassed from a public easement, and then why he was arrested for his exhibited free speech by telling the officer to go fuck herself. I have a audience that's watching live right now, and a combined amount of people this is unacceptable. It's unacceptable for any American citizen to have their rights violated.
I'm not out on the scene, so I will need to take your name and number, so when the watch commander comes back into the building, they can give you a call back.
Well, I don't want to. I will be happy to call back, but I don't want to give my number because if I have a disagreement with the watch commander and I tell him to go fuck myself, I don't want to have cuffs slapped on me. Like, why be placed under arrest if I tell you to go fuck yourself? Is that not my freedom of speech? What's going on in your town?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear your question.
What's going on in your town where you're arresting people for freedom of speech and you're soliciting trespasses?
I'm not out on the scene. I can't make any.
Okay, well, your qualified immunity doesn't count. Like, if another officer is doing something illegal, at that point, it's your duty. You're not a policy officer. You're a police officer. Do you think that maybe you should be on the scene? Because obviously, the officers that are there right now are not qualified to answer the situation.
Vision. If you would like, I could have a supervisor call you back.
You know what? I don't want to give my number out just because I don't feel safe. But I'm going to call back. So when's a good time for me to call back?
I would give it a couple hours. We're getting inundated with phone calls right now.
You guys are getting slammed with phone calls. That's probably because you violated his First Amendment, Fourth Amendment, and Fifth Amendment right. And it's probably going to continue to happen. And I'm probably going to fly out there, and I'd like to speak to your chief of police myself, because I was going to go to Henniger, Alabama, but I think I'm going to fly down to Santa Barbara, set up a meeting with your chief of police, and ask what the fuck is going on down there. You need to straighten up your team, because this is unacceptable. Let me tell you something. When the people fear the government, it's tyranny. But when the government fears the people, it's liberty. And there's not enough liberty in fucking Santa Barbara. So fix this situation, and I'm going to call back, okay?
You want the chief's name?
No, I'm gonna go online right now. I already called the mayor's office, but I appreciate it. Thank you very much. You're dismissed. Well, whew. Ain't that something? Can you believe that? I have to type a message in so I can let these guys know what's going on. And spoke to watch hang up of shame. All right, let me just throw this message in there because we don't take kindly to one of our own getting assaulted. Chat is closed. They ended the stream. This doesn't make me happy. Did I really sound that much like a dick when I called? I want to see what I sounded like because I kind of lost it. Let's go back for a second. I kind of got a little pissed, so let's just go back and check this out. I kind of got a little pissed, so let's just go back and check this out. I'm confused. All right, so for all the people calling in, I'm going to just go back on the phone call that I just had. So you can see the conversation I had with this officer who does not give a shit about what's going on in her own department. And then she tried to say she was not the watch commander anymore, that the watch commander was out of the building. Hello, this is Josh from Accountability. This is Josh from Accountability for All. Oh, you're holding me accountable? I'm sorry, this is not Josh from Accountability. He just stepped out. He's selling some yogurts door to door. Okay? Okay, bye-bye now. Moron. Let's check this out. I'm going to show you exactly what just happened. I did have to be mean to her because you know what? She's a criminal too. Okay, so what we really need to do is we need to...
No, you're not going to let me go right now.
Hold on.
With the patrol officer or to speak.
Hold on.
I
Excuse me. Here we go. Good evening. My name's Josh. I'm with the YouTube channel Accountability for All, and I'm watching a live feed with a colleague of mine, and I'm wondering, firstly, why he was trespassed from a public easement, and then why he was arrested for his exhibited free speech by telling the officer to go fuck herself. I have an audience that's watching live right now, and a combined amount of people this is unacceptable. It's unacceptable for any American citizen to have their rights violated.
I'm not out on the scene, so I will need to take your name and number.
So them breaking the law is okay because she's not there while it happened.
When the watch commander comes back into the building, they can give you a call back.
Well, I don't want to. I will be happy to call back, but I don't want to give my number because if I have a disagreement with the watch commander and I tell him to go fuck myself, I don't want to have cuffs slapped on me. Like, why be placed under arrest if I tell you to go fuck yourself? Is that not my freedom of speech? What's going on in your town?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear your question.
What's going on in your town where you're arresting people for freedom of speech and you're soliciting trespasses?
I'm not out on the scene. I can't.
Again, she's deflecting. It's not her problem because she's not out in the scene. She's disassociating herself from her own officers and making herself not culpable. Your qualified immunity doesn't count. Like, if another officer is doing something illegal, at that point, it's your duty. You're not a policy officer. You're a police officer. Do you think that maybe you should be on the scene? Because obviously, the officers that are there right now are not qualified to answer the situation.
If you would like, I can have a supervisor call you back.
You know what? I don't want to give my number out just because I don't feel safe. But I'm going to call back. So when's a good time for me to call back?
I would give it a couple hours. We're getting inundated with phone calls right now.
Listen to this guy. She says I need to call back in hours because they're getting flooded with calls. That's fucking freedom. That's freedom ringing on your phone line. You guys are getting slammed with phone calls. That's probably because you violated his First Amendment, Fourth Amendment, and Fifth Amendment right. And it's probably going to continue to happen. And I'm probably going to fly out there, and I'd like to speak to your chief of police myself. Because I was going to go to Henniker, Alabama, but I think I'm going to fly down to Santa Barbara, set up a meeting with your chief of police, and ask what the fuck is going on down there. You need to straighten up your team because this is unacceptable. Let me tell you something. When the people fear the government, it's tyranny. But when the government fears the people, it's liberty. And there's not enough liberty in fucking Santa Barbara. So fix this situation, and I'm going to call back, okay?
You want the chief's name?
No, I'm gonna go online right now. I already called the mayor's office, but I appreciate it. Thank you very much. You're dismissed. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. So that's what just happened down there. I just saw something say Johnny 5-0 was bleeding. You know what I smell? I smell a lawsuit. Rights violated. Check. Trespassed, solicited trespass from a public easement, check. Illegally taken into custody and kidnapped, check. Not for nothing, though. I told her she was dismissed, and what did she do? Hang up the phone. That's how it works. That's absolutely how it works. He's talking shit. It's Great American 1776. 1776 is the year that this Constitution came into effect. Why don't we get it together? What are we doing? We're sheeple. We're being led. When Paul Revere took that ride with Dawes, he was letting all these great Americans know, one if by land, two if by sea, the British are coming. And against overwhelming, I've given this speech before. You know, let me tell you about a public interest story that happened not too long ago. It made major headlines, all right? So there was like a really small town, okay? And the National Guard came in and stripped them of their weapons. And they were like, you guys aren't going to do that. Against 10-1 odds, they took their weapons back, they fought back, and they did not accept defeat. That was the revolution. These bells can't stop ringing, okay? We cannot allow them to do this. Like, we should have a well-armed militia to hold the government accountable. It's in the Constitution. The Constitution is not a guideline. It's a goddamn instruction manual to every single fucking American in the great United States of the United States of fucking America. They don't get to pick and fucking choose because they took a 6-month course. You know what happened? They thought 18 months was too long to become a barber, so they decided to become a Santa Barbara motherfucking police officer. A policy enforcer. You know? It is a shame when we get to a point where we can't go into a public place. And my question is, how many cameras are in that library? Why is Johnny 5-0's camera the only one that's dangerous? I'll tell you something. If you have a multi-$1,000 surveillance system, what makes you scared of my one camera? I will tell you something. There was a revolution over a 1% tax. This guy getting assaulted in a public easement is way more than a 1% tax. He made a sacrifice. He said, you will not tread on my rights. You will not tread on me. And they did. He did his part. Now it's time for us to do ours. I always say us. That's why United States, U.S. doesn't stand for United States, it stands for us. We, the people of the United States of America, in order to form a more perfect union, establish justice, ensure domestic tranquility, provide for the common defense, promote the general welfare, and finish it off with do ordain for our posterity. We have a duty to do all those fucking things to make sure that our kids grow up in a country that's better than we left it. We owe it to the brave men and women that has sacrificed their lives for the flag they bore on their shoulder. You owe it to your kids. You owe it to every little girl and boy that's jumping on a swing in a playground. And then her mother comes over to take a picture and a cop says, you can't film, you trespassed. Things will only get worse. Let me Dante Alighieri, Dante's Inferno, the Renaissance poet, he said, the deepest depths of hell are reserved for those who maintain neutrality in a time of moral crisis. Here's what he's saying. The people that are going to get the worst karma are the people that see something but don't say something. And if you see something, you better film something. Because you know what? It takes someone to stand up for your rights. Not their rights, your rights. There's no divide and conquer line between we the people. We divide the bullshit that's across that line. And it's only going to get worse. It's only going to get worse. It starts with one, and it only takes one. Okay? You have 9 cops ID and that one doesn't. It only takes that one. This is your constitution. This is your country. These are your children, your family. These are your rights. And we have a duty to protect this country. I've made some mistakes in my life. But even when I went to jail, I didn't leave American soil. Because the ground I was on was built on American fucking freedom. You should never fear your government. Your government should, in fact, fear you. We only lose the battles we don't fight. And the only people that get away with it are the ones that aren't held accountable. So, have you not subscribed to Johnny 5-0, go to his channel. I'll see if I can pull up his PayPal information because I know he's going to need bail. And right now, I've been through it myself, folks. You know what the police are doing right now? They're realizing that they fucked up. And they're doing the behind the door bullshit dance. They're deflecting blame. They're trying to figure out on what the hell they can charge him with. And I guarantee you it's going to be trespassing, disorderly conduct, and resisting arrest. Of what you saw, none. We are leaders in this world. Okay? We are considered global leaders here in the U.S. but we can't lead our own friggin' officers into justice. Now it's Johnny 5, JOHNNYFIVE, then 5 zeros after it. So it'll be www.paypal.me/Johnny5, the word 5, and then 5 zeros. All right? And one of the moderators can continue to post his PayPal link. I'm going to put his PayPal link on my community page. I've already shared this video. Just heard from my source, his head is pretty bad and he's been taken to the hospital. So, let's pray for his safe return. Those cops fucked up. What they did is they forgot the oath that they swore to if they ever remembered it in the first place. This guy's on the front lines. When soldiers are overseas, people hang up ribbons on their trees until they come home. And what are they doing? They're fighting for American freedom. They're fighting to preserve your way of life, to ensure that you and your posterity can live in ensured justice, domestic tranquility, and provide and work with their common defense and their general welfare. Is Johnny 5-0 not doing anything different? He was just injured on the front lines against terrorist thugs for your freedom, for my freedom, for our freedom. I'll tell you one thing. And for that, he's a goddamn American hero. And anyone that wants to come on this channel and say that he's anything else, then why don't you just go around and help the wounded? You know, where the Third Amendment is alive and well in Santa fucking Barbara. Most people forget the Third Amendment to house soldiers in a time of war. He's being forced to quarter with enemy soldiers right now. So you violate his First Amendment right, his Third Amendment right, his Fourth Amendment right, his Fifth Amendment right. Let's see what his bail is. Let's see if they violate that right. And then we'll see what the police report says, because even when it's... Here's the thing. What they did on camera was heinous. If they would do that knowing that they were filmed, imagine what they do when no one's watching. Thin Blue Gang. It's unacceptable. Listen, not for nothing, but if I want to, I can say fuck you to anybody. It's my First Amendment right. It's covered by the freedom of speech. Maybe morally people might not like it, but feelings don't trump rights. Let me ask you a question. If me carrying a firearm, if you were out in the street carrying a firearm as your constitutional right, and someone was offended by it, and they called the police and they arrested you, you don't have to disarm. No law that goes against the Constitution can be considered law. It's unlawful. I put the whole video up on my community page. And I would love if everyone shares that video. Fuck that. We need to go hard with this. Alright? See my comment. Thank you very much. And in case you're in case you're just coming on, Johnny 5-0 was arrested because they enforced policy over Constitution. Marty Crystal Floyd just posted his PayPal link. So make sure you get on there and you make a donation to him so we can get him back safely home. Thank him for his sacrifice. Because here's the thing. Some of us are on the front lines. Everyone has a different part. Okay? Some join the army to be a mechanic, to make sure the tanks run for the guys who are inside the tanks. Some join everyone has their own place. So anyone who's in here right now, you don't have to be on the front lines with me. You don't have to be on the front lines with Joe Orga or Johnny Fivo or San Joaquin Valley Transparency. Okay? James Freeman, Joshua Martinez, some of the greats. So I strike my name because I don't hold my name in with the greats at all. But you can do your part by supporting us. If you share this, you've done your part. So I would appreciate everyone at home sharing this video. One step at a time. We want to bridge gaps, right? Well, no, they assaulted him because they didn't tell him he was being detained. They just assaulted him. So it comes down to the simple fact that if we allow it, it just continues. We want to bridge gaps. Some people think that I go into places and freak out and I try to incite the police. I posted a video at the Somerville Police Department a couple days ago. The cop was great. I didn't flip out on him. I record. Cops decide how they're going to act. It's as simple as that. We're trying to bridge gaps so that way we can close the gap between the people that are in fear of the police and the people that want their freedom back and the good cops that are trying to meet them halfway, because there are some out there. And you know what? Making a phone call, sharing a link, it's a very small step. But every bridge that's ever been crossed started with one step. You ever heard one small step for mankind? One giant leap. Starts with a small step. And it might continue to be small steps until we get across that bridge. But once we meet on common ground in the middle, we have something that's beautiful. We have freedom. We have liberty. We have justice for all. 77 years ago, our forefathers brought unto this nation. And they'd be turning in their fucking graves if our founding fathers were in Santa fucking Barbara. And just because you don't see something happen in your neighborhood doesn't mean it's not happening somewhere else in this country. Because I can tell you for a fact, right now, in some state, in some city, this very second, while you're watching me, someone's having their rights violated. That could be your husband, your wife, your daughter, your son, your sister, your great-grandmother's lizard's pet goldfish's alligator's favorite snack. One is, just like one bad cop is too much, one person having their rights violated is too much. And you know what? Freedom will still continue to ring. The biggest growth I have on my channel was when I got incarcerated. I went in with 14,000 subscribers. 90 days later, I came out with over 25,000. And I wasn't even making videos. Because people said we're not going to take the assault to our Constitution. We won't accept the constitutional wipe down. I'll tell you something. Three most beautiful things I've seen in my life. Not in any specific order, just because he's the oldest. The birth of my son. The birth of my daughter. And the phone calls get jammed at the Chicago PD. The outcry from American citizens everywhere, they had had enough. They were disgusted. People on the left, people on the right, people that are for me, people that are against me. We are Americans. We are a motherfucking force to be reckoned with. Just like when the trade centers fell. For the first time in New York, in Boston, everywhere, people were letting other people cross the street. People were letting people go in traffic. Complete strangers were helping others. Love or hate George Bush, I'm not proclaiming love or hate for him. But when there were no cameras around, a big photo got released because someone snapped the photo on their phone. He joined the search effort, and you can see someone's hand going between a bunch of rubble. Just the hand. And you see George Bush holding that hand. And on the other hand, he's got a loudspeaker letting him know, you're going to be all right. The look on that person's face when they came out of that rubble was not of, holy shit, that's the President of the United States. The look on that face was, thank you. Thank you for helping me. We are all Americans. It's our duty to help each other. Sometimes in life, a hand's going to come up, and we got to grab that hand. Let's grab Johnny Five-O's hand. Let's pull him back up out of the rubble. Let's get him the fuck out of Santa Barbara jail. And let's hold some tyrants accountable. Unfortunately, there's no more Minutemen. But there are brave men and women. And not all of them wear a uniform. Some of them just look like just like you. Some of them look just like me. I live in Boston, Jacqueline. From outside Boston, from Stoneham. Born in Boston, grew up in Stoneham. Here's what I want to do. I don't proclaim any outward religious faith or anything like that. But I'd like to cease the comments for a minute. All right? Let's make sure no comments come in. Let's give it like 10 seconds where we can just observe a moment of silence, because that moment of silence is not necessarily a prayer, but we're respecting our rights for someone that we're going to fight for. So let's just shut the comments down right now. All right, I appreciate everyone not commenting, and we're going to do what we can to help Johnny Five-O. Okay? It is a time of civil war, civil unrest. Like, people think there can be no change. Okay? It's like, well, the government's way too powerful now. They have all this spy equipment. There's just no way that we could really fight against them. There's really nothing that we can do. We're an overwhelmed force. So, yeah, we have a constitution, and the constitution is for show because we can't really do anything to take over the government because then we'll be considered like terrorist or treasonous or whatever. It's happened before. Our founding fathers felt that same way during the Revolution. Next formed the United States of America. When the country split in the Civil War, both sides felt that way. And a divided country, just like we are now, came together. It's happened before. It can happen again. It's up to you. Absolutely, R2R. They were terrorists. When anyone assaults our Constitution, which is the building block to our lifestyles as Americans, that is an act of domestic terrorism. Those cops, those pigs, are domestic terrorists. We'll see if they deploy SEAL Team 6 to subdue them. I highly doubt that will happen. Oh yes, A-Dub, I am going to be covering that up with a nice tat. The Tree of Liberty, from time to time, shall be refreshed with the blood of patriots and tyrants. Today, Johnny Five-O's blood was spilt, literally, on behalf of freedom. So we already got the Tree of Liberty being watered with the blood of a patriot. So let's demand some accountability for some tyrants. Patriots and tyrants. There's no in between. But the Santa Barbara PD Maybe they can read between the lines. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Tom H. says there's no such thing as a terrorist. One guy's terrorist is another guy's freedom fighter. Well, it depends on which side you're on. To the victor goes the spoils, and the history books are always written by the winner. And that's why we have so many history books that talk about freedom. So let's be the victors. You know, when the Boston parade bombs went off, they said Boston strong. You know, when the Twin Towers went down, they said New York strong. Let's be we the people strong. Hashtag we the people strong. Because you know why? It goes back to the whole reason I actually made this video. I am still going to go to Henniger, Alabama. But I was going there for a little girl named Retta. We made a difference. We must continue to make a difference. Because I'll tell you one thing. What breaks the heart more than the child that's getting bullied in school is of the parents who have to watch their kids suffer, to feel helpless and to do nothing about it, and to take a stand and demand some justice of equal fucking measure. So let's demand that justice. Let's demand that the government provides domestic tranquility, that they continue to provide for the common defense, that they continue to promote the general welfare. Because they're not promoting the general welfare, they're not providing for the common defense because they're giving us terrorists as officers. What do we do now? If anyone is in the area and you'd like to provide ground support in the sense where you're going to... This happened in Chicago when we went live about the whole Joe Luna thing. All right? And I had someone local that went down there. Same rules apply. Don't go alone. Film everything. And remember, you can't tell the story if you're in jail. Somebody already sacrificed for freedom this evening. You want to go down there and give him some ground support? I'm sure he'd appreciate that. What do we do next? Johnny 5-0 is streaming again. Is he out? Oh, maybe it's his wife. Alright, let's check it out.
Him, and then they started screaming at me to get off of library property, that I'm not even allowed to film on library
Hold on,
property,
guys.
even though I was not inside the building. They told
You're
me I
gonna
had
hear
to
it.
go
I
all
gotta
the way
type
to the street.
something.
And once the library security started getting aggressive, then the cops started getting aggressive. Johnny and I have a deal, and that is I don't get arrested unless it's absolutely necessary, and so I walked away. And I think you can hear me. I don't know how long the video is live, but yeah. So I had to leave. Hug, I just got that. Thank you, and I will text you in a minute. Okay, Joe, hold on. Okay. So I got him being thrown to the ground. He was bleeding. I told the cop he was bleeding, and that asshole was like, sure is a sad thing. Like, it was so gross.
Hold on, guys. We're going to send our message right now so they know that we stand with them.
I just want you all to know that this is why you have two camera angles, because they think that all that they got was on Johnny's camera. But that's not what they got. They got me static recording in the back, them throwing him to the ground, busting his head open, and then doing nothing.
Busting his head open.
And also, not even telling him he was arrested. And then trying to say he wouldn't identify himself when he was identifying himself. So, I always like it when they try to pack on those charges. You know, he wouldn't ID. He was resisting arrest. He was doing this static video, baby. This is why I always say it's better to go in pairs. Always better to go in pairs.
That's what I just said, guys.
And-
Never film alone.
Was Johnny wearing body cam? Yes. Johnny wears GoPro, night vision body cam, 2 cameras, a phone for a live stream, audio recording, and then I wear a camera, audio, GoPro. So we have about 10 different angles probably. Thank you, Crystal. Thank you, everyone. Citizen Z. Citizen Z. You mean the world to me. They're ignoring call. Oh, who would have thought? So I don't know where they're taking him. Thank you to News Now Houston, who has been helping a little bit, trying to figure out exactly where they're going to take him. You guys know that Johnny and I don't usually roll with people very often. We're pretty solo. We're kind of a little island unto ourselves over here. So I don't know a lot of people in SoCal that audit. Thanks for the people that are helping me that do know us. I appreciate it. I'm taking your advice. I am moving hotels because, surprise, surprise, I got followed. Who would have thought?
Retaliation.
I had to leave. They followed me off. So the last 20 minutes of the live stream I was not present for. But all the way up to that I was in static recording. So, Justin Pulliam's doing something good. Thank you, Justin Pulliam. I don't know if Justin I'm sure Justin has Johnny's number, but I have Johnny's phone. So if you're an auditor who can help, I have his phone. I'll try to answer it. I'd like to get a health check on Johnny, but they forced me off the property before I could see if they were going to take him in an ambulance or not. His head is literally busted at least this far, right here, bleeding onto the ground. It's gross. It's fucking gross. And when I started screaming, he's bleeding, that guy was like, oh, I don't see anything. And I was like, are you fucking blind? And he was like, oh, that's just too bad. You guys know me. I don't think all cops are bad. I don't. I'm not one of those people. I'm not anti-cop. But I sure am anti-bad cop. And this is a situation where if there were a good cop present, something different would have happened. Don't say too much? Nah. Thank you, though. All I will say, there are lots of angles of what really happened. I don't know what to say. That's it. I don't know what else to say. I usually get arrested with Johnny. I don't usually have to do the updates. So, but they did follow me, and they know where I am. So I'm going to be moving. They're not out there anymore. So I'm going to be moving hotels very soon, in the next 30 minutes or so. Just for all you trolls. Time to stand. LA County Jail Hospital. Call me. Southeastern Pennsylvania Community Watch. I'm going to. In just a few minutes, okay? So I don't know what's going to happen. I have to move hotels because I don't feel safe and because that was bull crap. So I'm going to do that. And then, yeah, Santa Barbara put themselves on the map. We thought this was going to be an easy day. Johnny and Mike will go to the library, we'll go to the police station. It's Santa Barbara. This place is like quaint AF, you guys. Quaint AF. And so we thought, we'll stop here first on our way out. And,
Alright guys, there you have it. I've been there before. I know exactly what they're going through right now. I know exactly what they're going through. My name just got dropped. How so? Oh, they just said accountability for all is streaming you. Yeah. Anyways. Support them. I'm going to end this live stream. So you can head on over there, give them support, and let them know that, let's show them the support. Go over there, say, hey, listen, because everyone's new. Sometimes people are new to the auditing community. We have to stick together. Let them know, hey, I just saw this on Accountability for All, and we support you. Give them a sub. Give them a thumbs up. Share that shit. Okay? Share it.
And then I don't know what they'll charge him with or what he's going to need to do right now. Thank you, Tunis. I will go live with the Southern California people who like us. Who want to show up can show up.
We're gonna keep on keeping on. They got 1,000 people watching. Let's give them another 126. PDK75 keeps saying Accountability for All is sharing this. Which, just to let them know that they got some support out there, I guess.
I don't know what to do. Recap, I am doing what you said, News Now Houston. Thank you very much for your advice. I was followed here, so I am going to move hotels just because I don't feel very comfortable, which is fine. They'll probably follow me there too, but I just would maybe like to move to a different location just because of where we are.
Donate to
and then
them,
I'm going
guys.
to just
Hit that super chat.
wait for an update. We'll see what they charge him with and see what we need to do from there. And if that was the real SGV's account, I think maybe he's coming, maybe. I don't know. So you guys please flash up my email again, please, for some of the people that
There you go. Listen, here's her email
that don't
address.
have my number or don't have Johnny's number, maybe. That help. I really appreciate it.
bellforfreedom@gmail.com.
I'm sorry for everyone that had to
Guys,
talk
let's
to
put
me on
that
the
up
phone
here.
the
Let's put
last
that up
30
here,
minutes.
guys.
I was being followed out of there, and so I
bellforfreedom@gmail.com.
wanted to make sure
Let's get her
someone
email
had the
address
dash
up there
cam
again.
going
If
and
there's
my
any
other
way that
phone
you can
recording.
help and you're in the area, if there's any way that you can help and you're in the area, let's contact. Sorry, guys, lost you there for a second. There it is. bellforfreedom@gmail.com. That's a moderator. bellforfreedom@gmail.com. All right? bellforfreedom@gmail.com. See if that came out again. Trying to make sure that's the right one. Bell for Freedom. Let's put that up there, guys. Can one of my moderators please put up her email in case there's anything that you can do to help? Sometimes helping is good enough just by being there.
I love you all, and like you said, to the people that have talked to me, thank you so much. And I will go live again soon, and we'll know what to do from there. Right now, I don't really know what to do, but to get myself comfortable in a place where I'm more comfortable, and just wait. So, thank you all. Love you all.
Yeah, guys. Stick together on this. They got some nice donations in there. If you weren't able to donate on the super chat, let's make sure that we hit up his PayPal. So, guys, please go to www.paypal.me/Johnny5, all words, and then 5 zeros. www.Johnny5 and then 5 zeros. Let's get him some donations. Let's get him out of jail. All right. Bell for Freedom. Thanks, guys. Keep putting that up there. Bell for Freedom. In fact, I'm going to write that down because I'm going to email my best wishes over there. I don't know how, I would just send the money to, if they're listing the PayPal in their accounts, that's probably the easiest way to send them money. Let's not trip this up or get it any more difficult than it needs to be. Let's just get them the funds that we can. Listen, $1 works. Some people say, oh, we have 99 cents. Everything works, because what if they're $1 short for his bail? That 99 cents is going to work. So let's get them as much money as they can. All right, here's what I'm going to do. It's not much. But the $6 you guys don't, you guys super chatted on my channel tonight, I'm going to donate to their PayPal. Okay? And if you have any other ways to send money, maybe you don't have money, you can't support them like that. Maybe you can support them with eyes on the ground. Presence is huge. I found it myself that having people call, having people show up is huge. Let's do what we can. Hey, Ginger Snaps, Fangirl98, thanks for coming down. Thanks for watching. Listen, absolutely, David. Watching, sharing, liking, subscribing is great. And especially if you're liking, sharing, and subscribing to Johnny 50. bellforfreedom@gmail.com. I'm going to end the live stream now, guys, so I can send my support out there, so I can send a couple bucks in donation, and so I can write an email out to her and see if there's any further help I can be. Listen, Johnny 50 was on the front lines of a war for freedom on behalf of us, we the people, you and your family. He wound up being kidnapped, beaten, and arrested for you, for me, for us. He demands justice, and that's the reason that Johnny 50 stopped you today. So get to his channel and subscribe. Hit that like button so hard that you break the screen on your phone. See you soon.